with us? You still here?
You awake?
You with us, buddy?
Hello again.
Coming from this side.
And welcome to SportsCenter with Jay and Dan. Hey, Monday, to say it was a crappy day is an understatement. We're here for the next hour as a distraction.
That's
right. Like, let's just turn our brains off and talk about sports and watch sports.
And we're good at turning our brains off.
Yes, we are pros.
Anybody can turn their brains off. It's you and me.
Yeah.
And I was excited about the Monday Nighter tonight. Great matchup.
It was.
Turned out to be a terrific game, too. And the Chiefs with a chance to go undefeated. Kirk Cousins looking for his first win as a starter on Monday Night Football. I like this guy. He seems a little off, but he's fun. The Chiefs are 4-0.
Yager moves to the net. Yager scores! Jaromir Yager with another salute.
He's still playing. I can't believe it.
What a goal by Jaromir Yager. And he scores! Jaromir Yager. Put that one on the highlight tape.
Vintage Jaromir Yager.
That will go down as one of the great highlight goals of all time for Jaromir, number 68. Unbelievable. Jaromir Yager has done it again.
And to think that in Jaromir Jager's 1,711-game career, he had never played for a Canadian team. He can scratch that one off the list as the mullet, the living legendness, the man that played in the first ever pro hockey game. The Yager signed a one-year, $1 million contract with the Calgary Flames on Monday.
That leads us to Insider Trading. Love this segment. Bob, Dregs, Pierre LeBrun, and, sorry, what? And producer Tim says it's time to play another edition of our favorite game. Did James Duthie show up to work today? And despite the fact that this is one of the only segments James is responsible for, the answer is still no. Still on the golf course, I guess. You wonder if he'll be here for our fantasy draft show, which is Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern on all the networks except TSN2. Sorry, TSN2. Once again, you're left at the altar. Immediately following that program, we'll have a full breakdown of the upcoming season. It's our season preview on all networks once again, except for TSN2. Sorry, TSN2.
Kyrie Irving seems like a man with no regrets. He's out of Cleveland and now engulfed in all things that are involved in being a Boston Celtic. Describing the atmosphere at the Garden as nothing like it. But come on, new relationship, everything's great out of the gate. Food tastes better. The sun shines more. Or did he really not like Cleveland that much? Is that also a possibility?
Certainly a possibility.
Kyrie finished with 9 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. And how about Celtics color man Tom Heinsohn? A little too much information.
And life insurance.
I'll tell you, I took a look at Baines in the shower. He looks like all of Australia. He is really put together.
All right. All right, Tommy.
Wow. Yep. Hey, George Foreman, he wants to strap the boxing gloves on one more time. You will not believe who he wants to go toe-to-toe with.
Oh, the Edmonton Oilers open up the regular season at home Wednesday against the Calgary Flames. There's Kyler Yamamoto. Huge story. Jesse Puljujarvi will not be in the lineup for Edmonton. Yamamoto will be. He's impressed as captain so far. The Oakland Raiders have announced Derek Carr will miss 2 to 6 weeks due to the fracture he suffered in Sunday's loss to the Broncos. Head coach Jack Del Rio said it could be as short as 2 weeks. It could be longer. Jack Del Rio is a doctor now. The Raiders have started the season 2-2. E.J. Manuel likely start when they play the Ravens at home on Sunday. Bills fans, you gotta love hearing stuff like that. Is that the hugest win for the Bills in years this past weekend? Huge loss for the Patriots to the Carolina Panthers, and they get a chance to bounce back on Thursday Night Football, which you can see on TSN and CTV2 this Thursday, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. So many great matchups we have.
Yeah, you said we've got all the football.
We've got all the football, and I hope you bet the over in the Monday Nighter.
Yeah, we didn't show the highlight of the last play, but they tried to lateral it and stuff, and the Chiefs picked it up, scored a touchdown, and they covered and got the over.
That's right.
On the final play.
On the last play. Yeah. People were either really upset or really thrilled. You, Dan, this is very exciting, went to the Invictus Games closing ceremony over the weekend. First of all, terrific event all week, but you had amazing seats. There you are right there. Tell us about it.
It was great. Saw Kelly Clarkson, Bryan Adams, Bruce Springsteen.
Yes.
Prince Harry.
Yeah.
Sophie Trudeau.
Okay. Did she sing?
No.
Okay.
It was great, though. What an inspiring event.
Yeah, very cool.
You know, after Sunday's win over the Colts, Seattle Seahawks Richard Sherman explained why he and other NFL players don't care about your fantasy football team.
9 times outside.
A lot of fans out there, you know, have looked at players even less like people because of fantasy football and things like that. You go, you say, oh, man, this guy got hurt. You're not thinking, hey, man, this guy got hurt. He really, you know, he's really physically hurt, and he's going to take time to recover, and it's probably going to affect his mental state and his physical state. And, you know, now he has a long, rigorous rehab. You're thinking, oh, man, he's messing up my fantasy team.
You get clouded vision because you see it as a video game.
And then in the NFL, non-guaranteed contracts, so players are moving around a lot. Careers are short, like an average of 4 or 5 years or something like that. So, yeah, I think he has a pretty good point. And our buddy has a good point,
Yeah,
too.
Graham Dillette, great follow on Twitter. He's on the PGA Tour, and he goes back at people that call him out for being injured. See, this guy's complaining about Graham withdrawing. He said, I don't care about your fantasy golf. I care about my health. Get a life.
Yeah. At Talkback Eric.
Yeah. Again, good follow, Graham Dillette.
The Miami Dolphins decided to run out of the Wildcats Sunday in London against the Saints, and Jay Cutler, in a spectacular fashion, did not only not move, he put his hands on his hips, as if to say, I'm just here for the paycheck.
I thought it was the perfect decoy, but then that decoy, I guess the decoy doesn't do anything. It's not a good decoy.
Yeah, I have to say, everyone getting on Tony Romo's case for talking too much in his first year of broadcasting. Jay Cutler was supposed to join Fox this year. We missed out on a man who may not have talked at all during an NFL broadcast. They might have had to wake him up in between quarters.
Speaking of decoys, this is completely off topic, only because whenever I think of a decoy, you know, my bathtub toy as a child was a decoy. Like a duck decoy from a hunting store.
Okay.
Who gives their kid that?
So sometimes I feel like I'm your therapist.
The LA Chargers, they're still struggling to sell tickets to their fan base at the league's smallest stadium. Chargers opposing teams, they're filling out the seats, giving them a not-so-home field advantage. Sunday's game against the Eagles at StubHub Center. Sections with more Eagles faithful than Charger faithful, but there are no Charger faithful at this point.
There's no Charger faithful in LA. At least the Rams have the history of the Rams being there before they moved to St. Louis. The Chargers, LA doesn't care about the Chargers. San Diego's upset they left. They're not driving up the highway to see them.
The coolest part about that StubHub, they parked the Goodyear blimp right by. So every time you're like, hey, there's where they parked the blimp.
Did your parents decide, hey, we already have a duck decoy, why would we buy him a rubber duck?
No one in the family hunted. Okay. Where did we get the decoy?
It's very strange. The Chargers have been a bit of a disaster in LA, and StubHub Center is not the only place feeling the financial pinch.
Come on down to Discount Sports Bra Warehouse LA Chargers blowout sale. We're stripping our mannequins and emptying our shelves of LA Chargers merchandise because people do not like them. Chargers are backpacks, 90% off. LA's a football town t-shirts, 2 for the price of none. All At Least We're Not the Rams jammies, must Grammys. Hoodies with River scratched out, replaced with Lakers. Empty seats, 27,000, must go. Dean Spanos kayaks, as many as you can take. Act now, we'll throw in the San Diego Chargers stuff that no one wanted. We thought people from San Diego would drive up. We failed to take the temperature of the LA sports fans. Discount Sports Bra Warehouse LA Chargers blowout sale. Things are not going well.
They're in trouble.
Dean Spanos kayaks. Sign me up for several of those. On Twitter Monday, George Foreman challenged actor Steven Seagal to a fight, saying, quote, Steven Seagal, I challenge you one-on-one. I use boxing. You can use whatever. 10 rounds in Vegas. The Nevada State Athletic Commission would never allow a 68-year-old retired boxer and a 65-year-old actor to get into the ring, but it could happen in Russia. Seagal holds citizenship there. Let's look at the tail of the tape, Dan.
What started this? Did they have a beef?
I think Foreman just got tired of seeing Seagal on TV with his shoe polish head.
So that's okay, that's the tail of the tape.
Right? Sandwiches on grill. Exacting revenge on drug traffickers and corrupt cops who killed his family and left him in a coma. I like the wet ponytail as a defensive technique. They're actually pretty even in height and weight.
Old roommate of mine, his daily diet, 4 burgers on the George Foreman grill. Then he'd crush those and a big bag of chips.
Meanwhile, you were sitting in the tub with your duck decoy.
We've already seen plenty of North American highlights on this show, but sometimes, you know, great moments happen overseas. And that's covered in, what is it? The World Sports Report. Sorry. What a weekend it was.
Oh, we were handsome. John O'Meara, a British fighter, won an MMA fight using a pro wrestling move. It's the Boston Crab, or if you like Chris Jericho, it's the Walls of Jericho. Or when Jericho was in WCW, it was the Lion Tamer, which leads us to our next one.
Yeah, Welsh rugby player Scott Baldwin missed his team's last game because a lion bit his hand while he was trying to pet it. And it happened during a team trip.
Oh, that is horrible.
I once had where Maggie the macaque was. Oh, that's the World Sports Report. That same zoo where Maggie the macaque was at, a lion peed on me there.
Okay, how did you get into the...
No, it just turns its butt to you and like it's a I don't like you.
We've got to take a look at the Tim Hortons hockey cards. They're Upper Deck trading cards.
Oh, yeah.
You can get them now.
Got a pack for Sidney O'Toole over the weekend.
Did you? And
yeah.
they're $1 with a beverage and $1.99 without.
Yep.
Why wouldn't you get a beverage? Who did you get, Dan?
Alex Galchenyuk. Oh, yeah.
Read him and weep. On his birthday. Oh, who did you get?
Yeah, that's Galchenyuk.
A nice little number 20.
What, I got an Austin Matthews?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Guess who I
Score.
got on his birthday, Dan?
Who?
This is incredible. Mr.
Oh, sorry, that's
Oh,
over.
wrong way. This one. All right. Oh,
There we
yeah,
go.
there we go. Phil Kessel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so $1, you just get a beverage. Great deal.
We're going to have to make sure that our nails are clean for this segment.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Coming up, it's the best of September in the Jannies because there weren't enough games to compile a nightly Jannies tonight. So we're doing the best of it. Tim Hortons drive-through. Jaromir Jagr and the Flames have agreed to a 1-year deal with $1 million base salary and another $1 million in attainable bonuses. 10 players on the Flames were not even born in '91 when Jagr won the first of his back-to-back Stanley Cups. With the Pittsburgh Penguins, I cannot wait to see him, the Hornets. Jenny time. The best of September Day. The fancy plays, how this is described. Ryan Zimmerman behind the back to get Reese Hoskins. Oh, it's so fancy.
Temple taking on South Florida. Temple lines up for the long field goal, but it's a fake. Horrible fake. Temple QB Logan Marchie, no choice but to take the massive loss. Not good.
Nice work, Al.
Starts.
I can't wait. How about the Cubs and Cards? Addison Russell chasing it down foul territory, comes up short, takes out the fans' nachos, and gets a bunch of delicious nacho cheese on his arm in the process. His arm completely covered in cheese. Russell would make it right, though, serving the fan with a fresh order of nachos. That's been Nacho Talk here on SportsCenter with Jay and Ben.
Rays and Yanks, they were playing there because of the hurricane. They couldn't play at the Trop. And I thought we were done with this guy. He became a instant celebrity after this thumbs down guy. Atletico's Angel Correa trying to clear the ball out of danger via bicycle kick, and nah,
That's good.
didn't work out so well. It's not a good play. Yep, Emil Poirier. Wide open chance. Send it wide.
Kind of emblematic of his career.
Poirier?
I think it's Poirier.
It's
Poirier?
phoneticized Poirier. It's Poirier. That's Poirier.
It seems like Poirier to me.
Emil Poirier.
How about John Gillies? This won our 1v1 segment for 5 or 6 months.
Poirier. How about 20-year-old Brooke Henderson? The Canadian phenom won her 5th LPGA event over the weekend down under in New Zealand. That you may have heard, but what you maybe missed, the playing conditions, real bad, isn't awful.
Welcome back to the LPGA New Zealand Women's Open. Conditions are a little windy, but we're going to try to play it out. I don't know why. Even the signs are out of here. The signs have had enough. They got to go. Oh, God. Lydia Ko was blown into the lake. Lydia's in the lake. Lydia! Lydia! She's gone. Oh, wait, no, she's just standing over there. Okay, she's fine. False alarm. Oh, thank God, we're going inside now. It's pretty windy.
I was really worried about Lydia Ko there for a second. And that leads us to our daily dedication. Today's show is dedicated to Winnipeg Jets sophomore star Patrick Laine. Are you paying enough attention to Patrick Laine? Should you pay more attention to Patrick Laine? Perhaps the first play in our Plays of the Week will answer that question for you.
Laine finds a little bit of room, carries in, scores!
What an absolutely fantastic move to set up the shot.
Welcome back to SportsCenter with Jane Dan. It is time for our network time fillers. Our first time filler comes from Dutch TV, where a farmer was interviewed and started laughing like a chicken.
I think it was an angel.
Can you handle it?
They are definitely farming cannabis. And for our next time filler, meet Daniel Hartman, the apple catcher.
Three-pointer about to go up.
So he just catches apples in his face?
That's it.
Why do we give these people time on TV?
Producer Tim loves this stuff.
Get off your phone. This has been Jay and Dan's Network Time Filler.
It's the worst play of the day. This is a Canadian. Kem Birch, uncontested, no. Playing for the Orlando Magic, not happening. Kem Birch.
Highlight of the night also from preseason hoops because there was nothing else going on. And that's Memphis forward Jarrell Martin runs the floor, throws it over Bismack Biyombo. That's good for the Healy Evening.
Really miss.
We got the 1v1.
Yes, it's going to be exciting. And you blew it. That's coming up. 1v1. Guts. Glory. Rap. Good segment.
Am I doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you. Okay.
Up against eight-time champ John Gillies, who was unfortunately cut by the Flames on Monday. But at least he is 2 wins away from Ram 1v1 retirement. The winner will be revealed on Tuesday's 6 Eastern edition of SportsCenter with Lindsay, the Angel of Darkness, Hamilton.
You blew it is where we point out our errors. I blew it on Emile Poirier's name. I got that script cold.
And I just blew it there on 1v1. I didn't realize I was doing that. So I really messed up.
And I also blew it on sending to the World Sports Report. So, hey. Tuesdays,
tough day. It was a tough day Monday. It was a tough day Monday, and we lost a rock and roll legend. Very sad. Thanks.